Hello and welcome to the 2023 interview series. This is a brand new series that I am running. I'm Sabrina Schottenhamel, and I am featuring my dear friends and fellow entrepreneurs on this interview series. And it's brand new, so I'm really excited to be here and introduce you to my friend Brian. Brian King and I have been friends for probably around almost 10 years now.
Maybe even a little more.
I think it's around 10 years because I joined Toastmasters and Engaging Speakers in 2013.
Well, I will trust your math.
In the spring, because, I know for sure Toastmasters was 2013 in April. So it'll be 10 years that I'm a member of that. And I joined Engaging Speakers shortly after that. And that being said, that's how Brian and I met. So usually the first question is, how did we meet? But I'm going to share my side of the story, and then I'll ask you to share your side of the story. So like I said, I met Brian through Engaging Speakers, and it was almost like magnetism. We were brought together. And I don't know, Brian, I don't even know what we were talking about, but I just really liked Brian from the beginning. We got along, we vibed really well. And we used to meet at this restaurant in Downers Grove for a luncheon. And we'd have I don't know, it was like a 2-hour meeting where we'd have lunch, and it was a nice buffet, and we'd do some networking and have a guest speaker. And Engaging Speakers changed slightly since then, but I rejoined as a member probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and we just meet at a local corporate event now. But just meeting Brian was amazing and has been amazing all of these years. He gives me so much wisdom every time we don't meet in person very much anymore, but we are planning to in the future. But anytime we talk, he just has so much wisdom that he imparts into me. And even prior to this call, he has given me so much to share today. So I will let you, Brian, introduce yourself and say how your side of the story about how we met.
Wow. Knowing that I'm the first one already puts a lot of pressure on me to perform. But I'm honored that you chose me to help break the ice and introduce the series. It's a great idea that you have.
Thanks.
In short, I live with a lot of challenges, have since birth. I grew up with undiagnosed autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and probably dyscalculia, which is a math learning issue. And lived on the outside looking in, was bullied by my siblings, my parents, my teachers, because everybody thought I was just lazy, dreamy, not trying hard enough, all that stuff. And I survived my childhood growing up. And my graduation present from high school was an aggressive form of testicular cancer. So I spent that summer in chemotherapy and went on to get a master's in social work, got married, have 3 boys, all of whom are on the autism spectrum with ADHD, like dear old dad. That's how I learned about my challenges, was in getting them assessed and helping them with their challenges. And now I'm married for the second time and working on my 6th book, have spoken around the globe, helping families and educators connect more effectively with their neurodivergent students. And what I remember from meeting you, I remember who introduced us. It was a mutual friend. And I think it was because of our shared interest in holistic healing. Because I'm very much into chi and energy and mindfulness, and you are a lot into that too. And I remember the first comments or a distinct comment you made to me. You were talking to somebody else, and I somehow had made it known to you that I wanted to talk to you. Then you turn around, you look at me with this bright smile that you always have, and you go, "What's up?" And I was like, wow, that's not a common greeting in this kind of setting. So I knew you were different just because of that.
Oh,
that you were not somebody who was wearing the persona of the professional. You were just there in you and taking it in. And so I knew you were someone that I could hang with. because you were so casual like that. And like
Oh,
you said, 10 years later, we're still getting along and supporting each other and inspiring one another and keeping up with each other's journeys. And it's been a blast watching you grow and spread your wings and all the ambitious things you're doing too.
oh, thanks, Brian. I don't remember saying what's up, but it was probably me just trying to, because at that time, 10 years ago, that was when I first decided I wanted to go into public speaking. So I was still very, very shy. And speaking up and going to networking events where I had to speak in front of people was still super scary. So for me to do that was just like, hey, I'm really confident.
My guess is you were probably at ease in that group.
Yeah. Well, engaging speakers has always made me feel at ease. Everyone just like I should interview them too, like some of the chapter members, and also Gail Brown, who's the CEO of Engaging Speakers, or I should say the founder of Engaging Speakers. It's just because she's such a soft person and huge heart person, that's who she attracts.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that
always
could be
had.
said of any of us, right?
Pardon?
That could be said of any of us.
Oh, yeah. And so that's why I love that group. I was a member for a while, then I kind of faded away, but then I rejoined because I just felt like I needed to connect with those types of people. Those are my people. So yeah, I love that. I love your side of the story. Next up, Brian, I want to ask you, what are your passions?
Wow, where do I start?
Yeah.
I rediscovered I've had a love of writing ever since fifth grade when I discovered that I was good with rhyme and rhythm and explaining myself that way. And it was going through cancer that I realized how useful it was in working through my emotions, because I spent a lot of time alone in the hospital, nobody to talk to. And there was a pad of paper and pencil, and I would just start scribbling curse words if I was angry, just to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I did writing, the more I learned it was a way to connect with my thoughts and my emotions, even better than just someone guiding me through a visualization exercise, It helps me get more in touch with it by writing it out. And the more the years have gone on, the more I've developed this skill. I write in such a way that people are drawn into it. I'm like a storyteller. So I love writing because of how it helps me communicate ideas to people in a way that touches them and moves them and empowers them. But it's also a way of helping me think through my life.
Yeah.
Things make much better sense to me when I write it out or talk it out, as opposed to just thinking it through. So writing is one of my first passions. Another passion I have is making sure my boys are okay. Giving them what they need, helping them build a community that will support them when my time is up.
I love that.
And I love the little aha moments that teach me more about how to connect on a more human level with other people. Because with the autism and the ADHD, connecting with people was the hardest thing for me to do. And the main reason I was left out, didn't have friends. So I have been relentless in studying relationships and connection and how we listen to each other and what it takes for other people to be seen. Because I want to be so good at that when I'm with other people, they don't feel alone.
I think that's something that connected us too, Brian, because I mean, not maybe at first, but subconsciously we connected on that level, because I struggled through school and I was held back in first grade, and I put the complex on myself that I was stupid. And well, then going to school in the 80s and 90s also didn't help, because they didn't have the schools that they have now. If they would have taught me in a different way, I would have done really well. But obviously that happened for a reason, so that we could share our stories today. But I think that's another reason why we connected is, our struggles through school. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how, because we were talking a little bit before we started recording about interoception, the
Mm-hmm.
little hints that our body gives us about how it feels about things. And a lot of our intuition comes from that,
Mm-hmm.
is our body wisdom. And it's quite possible that you just kind of read, okay, this person gets the struggles. This person knows. There's just a vibe,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And a lot of it is that interoception.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, the next question is, how did you get into your business, which you already answered because of your experiences? Is there anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I had leverage. I was working a day job as a social worker. I worked for hospice, incredibly valuable life experience. That was also the time that my oldest was starting first grade, and autism was not even on our radar. And when he started in school, for like the first month, we thought everything was fine, but he was having meltdowns. He was freaking out when the schedule was changed. And the teacher knew what she was seeing and tried to manage it on her own. But when he had a meltdown on a field trip, that's when she called me and started sharing her suspicions. And I went and got him assessed. And the school was not responsive to his needs. So it just kept getting worse. I was getting called at least 3 times a week to de-escalate him, and it was starting to interfere with my day job. And I realized he needed me full time. So that's when, with the support of some friends and peers, I decided to hang out my own shingle. And in 4 months' time, working part-time, I replaced my daytime income.
Wow.
So I went in head first. The community responded. That was 15 some years ago. And here I am, still going strong.
Yeah. Still making a difference in all the people's lives that you change or that you touch, Brian.
Well, and I'm just really, another passion, if you can call it that, is I really want to just fundamentally be the best human being I can be. And that's all the failures, all the mistakes, all the vulnerability, owning it all, not being ashamed of any of it, because that's part of the human experience. And hopefully I can do it well enough that other people realize that they can just let their hair down, drop the mask, stop pretending, stop working so hard to perform for other people, and just say, this is me. I'm not ashamed of any of it. So anything you might do to try and make me feel insecure, not going to work, because I'm not embarrassed by it.
Right.
That's something a lot more of us, I think, could use, because being human, especially in this society, is really heavy.
Me included.
Yeah. And we need to learn to put the weights down.
Yeah. So not all about the hustle and bustle. It's about, the self-care.
Yeah. The hustle and the bustle is all about feeding capitalism.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a different conversation.
Totally.
But we can decide to choose a different road to roam, meet our needs differently. Maybe it's, not an overnight success. You don't have to burn as many bridges or step on as many feet. It takes longer, but you have your integrity and your dignity intact.
Right.
And I much prefer that path.
Yes.
I don't want my legacy to be suffering.
No.
So, but that's just my approach.
I love it. It's a good approach. And then the next question is, what is the first thing that comes to your mind like that you're grateful for right now?
Oh, what I'm grateful for right now? Hope.
Hope.
Because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of positive things moving, a lot of momentum that I've spent years building. And I'm also enduring a lot of pain because I've been getting injections. Something I left out, I have multiple sclerosis and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So my body's in pain all the time. And my lower spine's degenerating, and I've been getting shots to control the pain, but they stopped working a month ago. So now, as the doctor's problem solving, trying to figure out where the pain's coming from and how to control it, I just get to hurt. But there's some steps moving forward. So my hope is that if I endure, the answers will come.
Mm,
So hope is really important when you're living with chronic struggles. The
yeah.
hope that the next moment can be better, that I can learn something that'll be helpful, that I'll find somebody that will understand me or support me or just be kind, you know? So
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Hope. That's a big one in our society today. We need to have hope because a lot of people see darkness and
well, hope backed by action, not
yes.
just wishful thinking. It's
Yeah.
important that you're doing something to move you in that direction.
Yes. Take the steps necessary to, yep, go in a positive direction and not a negative direction.
Right.
Yes. Thank you. All right. So how can people connect with you? Where do you hang out mostly on social media?
Mostly Facebook is my home base.
Okay.
That's where I have the biggest presence, the biggest audience. And I use my Facebook profile like a little classroom
hmm
to kind of encourage people to reflect on their beliefs and their thinking and discover opportunities to change how they approach life and how they perceive it. So they see more opportunities and fewer walls. So Facebook, I'm easy to find there, Brian R. King, or my website, briancanhelp.com. Those are the two best ways.
Okay. And I will definitely put those in the video comments and with the description. So you can definitely find Brian, connect with him, and be filled with his wisdom and hope with action steps attached to them. Yes.
Well said.
Yeah. Good thing we're recording, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Brian. And I look forward to meeting with you in person very soon. And of course, imparting the rest of your wisdom on me. And hopefully, I can impart some wisdom upon you as
You
well.
always do.
Thanks. I appreciate you. So have a good day.
Likewise. You too.
Yeah.
This has been a joy.
Yay. Awesome. All right. Thank you.